Yo, what up guys, Tateo here. In this video, I'm gonna bring you the actual combat tutorial for Lance. If you know every move and every button, but are still just hiding behind your shield and doing pokey pokey, dragging this perfectly exciting hunt into a cardio session, you're doing it wrong. Lance is a very powerful weapon. Most weapons out there are turn-based. You and the monster throw punches back and forth like two gentlemen. Lance doesn't do that etiquette shit. The monster is in recovery, that's your attack window. The monster attacks, that's your attack window. The monsters are reproducing, Capcom please. So there's no downtime for Lance. It's a continuous damage machine like a 300-pound Dublader on steroids. So Dublades are So if you want to put that off with Lance, there are 3 core moves you have to master. Only 3. And all other moves are just damage buildups and icings. The trinity of Lance are charge counter, power guard, and guard dash. First, let's talk about charge counter. Honestly, this move is so important, they might as well just rename the whole weapon to charge counter. It is the lead move of the weapon. It can follow up from almost anything, and pretty much anything else you do is either going into it or coming out of it. Bad phrasing. Charge counter is technically a just frame move, but don't panic. The timing is actually pretty generous. And even if you do mess it up, it is still forgiving. If the monster hits you while you're holding it and you time it wrong, you just go into a regular guard and high thrust. Now when you hold charge counter, you can charge up to 3 levels. And the higher the level, the stronger the follow-up damage, which is double counter thrust. Yep, the damage of double counter thrust depends on your charge level. And that double counter thrust is not just there for damage either. It also has a really long invisibility window, like really long. Long enough that if the monster does 2 fast attacks, 1 good charge counter can let you blow through both of them. Double counter thrust also includes a forward step, which can help you reposition and in some cases avoid follow-up attacks. Is that right? The infamous Arc Tanker right now? And here's another stupidly good thing about it. Charge counter does not care. No guard, guard up, unblockable, push back, attack from behind, they all don't matter. Just time it right, charge counter makes all your troubles go away. Now yes, you can just hold this move for a long time. You can stay in charge counter for around 6 seconds. Which they say is the average time of man, so you know it's a long time. But obviously, that does not mean you should stand there charging for 6 seconds every time. That'll make you look like you got a bad internet connection. The real trick is, your normal attacks actually build charge for it. Every hit from leaping thrust, mid thrust, high thrust, or wide sweep counts as 1 charge level. So if you attack once, then go into charge counter, you're already starting at level 1. If you attack 3 times first, then go into charge counter, you're already at level 3 instantly. That's the real flow. And since Lance lets you mix those first 3 hits however you want, mid thrust, high thrust, wide sweep, any combination, you can naturally fight, build charge, see the monster about to swing, then go straight into a max out charge counter with a max out damage of double counter thrust. So here is your game plan. Pokey pokey, build up charge level, see an attack coming, go into charge counter, do heavy damage, then back to your pokey business. That's why Lance can actually be very oppressive. Alright, now let's talk about power guard. First thing you gotta know is power guard is not charge counter. You don't have iframes, you need guard up for unblockable attacks, and some attacks can even knock you back a little in your power guard, which means your follow-up will get slower. You will receive damage even if the attack would deal no damage to your normal block. Your stamina depletes fast. Sounds like a bad deal, but the trade-off is you can do even heavier damage from this stance that makes Great Sword sweat. You go into power guard from charge counter while you're holding it, press your dash button, and your hunter drops into a crouch stance with the shield in front. It looks defensive, but all your real big hits starts here. Power guard doesn't give you 6 seconds to sync, so when you use it, you have to be sure the hit is coming. That is why it's a follow-up from charge counter. You got the confidence, you go into power guard. As we said, power guard will receive damage, but that comes with a reward, because the damage of the follow-up depends on what kind of attack you're receiving. If it's a light attack chip damage, you will see a white flash, which gives you level 1. A medium attack will give you level 2 with a yellow flash, and a heavy attack will give you level 3 with a red flash. So the harder the monster hits you, the harder you can hit back. After guarding an attack in power guard, you have 2 main options. Leaping thrust, which is fast and can deal with small recovery, and then the money here, grand retribution thrust. This is your true punisher. Here's also a little detail here. Like double counter thrust gives you a forward step, Grand Retribution Thrust give you a backstab, so you can use it to avoid some follow-up hits. Let's roll our Arc Timber raid out clip again. But Grand Retribution doesn't just stop there. After that, you also have 3 options. First is dash attack. Normally, a dash attack needs ramping up. You need to run for a little while for dash attack to gain another level, where it gets faster and the finishing thrust deals more damage. But if you go into dash attack right after Grand Retribution, it'll instantly be a maxed out dash attack. So you can go for the maxed out finisher right away and deal huge damage. So combine Grand Retribution Thrust and dash attack finisher, this is the Great Sword sweating damage I was talking about. Of course, you don't always get the chance to do the full combo, so when time is limited, you can also go into triple thrust or another charge counter after Grand Retribution. What if you just read the monster wrong and the monster didn't attack? Then simple, just do a good old leaping thrust to get out of the stance. So think of it like this, charge counter is your safe, flexible tool, power guard is your high risk, high reward callout. Alright, last one, guard dash. Now this one is simple. This is not your damage move, this is not your punisher, this is your movement tool. Because let's be honest, you don't want to be walking around with a lance, even the monster will lose his patience. So guard dash is here to fix that. It lets you move around the monster while staying protected. Just a quick control stab that keeps your move fluid. You can use it to get closer, adjust your position, and stick to the monster. And one really important thing, guard dash helps reduce knockback. So small hits that would normally push you back, when you guard dash, they won't. You get to keep your ground and keep control. And after guard dash, you can go straight into a leaping thrust to close distance or continue the pressure. The idea is simple, but if you use guard dash well, it connects everything. Alright, now that we got the trinity down, let's talk about the icings. Because most of the time, you're not countering, you're not power guarding, you mid thrust, high thrust, and wide sweep. These 3 form your core combo. No matter how you mix them, any order, any combination, you always get 3 hits. After that, you go straight into either triple thrust or charge counter. That's your basic loop. Now each move has its role. Mid thrust let you move while attacking. So this is great for repositioning, staying on target, adjusting your angle. High thrust has a higher damage and it can hit higher parts of the monster, but you lock in place when you use it. Wide sweep, this is your heavy hit inside the combo. Good damage, good pressure, but you can only use it once in the combo. So depending on the situation, you just mix them however you want. Move when you need to, hit higher when you need to, and squeeze in damage when you need to. Just remember, always 3 hits, then your transition. Now a small trick with triple thrust. You don't have to commit to all 3 hits. If you see an attack coming, you can stop after the second poke and go straight into guard or charge counter. And when you put all those things together, this is basically how lance works. You poke to deal damage and build charge. You see an opening, you go into charge counter. If you want bigger damage, you go into power guard, finisher, then you go right back into the loop. During all that, if you need reposition, stay close to the monster or get out of the way, do guard dash. Simple. Once you get used to this flow, you'll realize something. Lance is actually one of the most comfortable weapons in the game. You're just in control the whole time and deal decent damage. So yeah, if you can get all these down, most monsters, even the formidable ones, will stop being chaos. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Hope this video helps. Love you all.